Hey, what's up, my construction entrepreneurs? Tyrone Jones here. Haven't made it to the job yet. Once again, I'm still at Mission Viejo. My main focus, probably to the end of this year. Um, so, excuse me. I got on this to talk about 2020, right? Um, a lot of us as construction owners should already be in 2020. Excuse me. We should already be operating or constructing jobs for 2020 already. Now, some of us are not in a position to even think about things like that. Like, how do I get into 2020? Man, I'm barely going week to week around this place. Um, and that's okay too, right? Even though I'm in 2020, I'm still going, week to week, 2 weeks by 2 weeks, 3 weeks by 3 weeks. I'm still in the present. Okay, I want to be more in the future, so I can focus on things, a year, maybe even 6 months ahead, 8 months ahead. I'm only able to plan a small fraction. So a lot of you will hear me, hey, what does it mean when you say you're already in 2020? It means that for me being in 2020, I was already in 2020, and my goal was to be working on 2020 back in September, August. I would like to start working on the next year when the new cars come out. Okay, when the new cars come out, I should be already working on that next year. And what does that mean for me? That means I'm already scheduling jobs that's due to kick off next year, right? I'm working on jobs that's due to kick off in January. I'm looking at jobs that's due to kick off in February, and I'm trying to line that year up at least for the first quarter, right? Jobs that are kind of far out, so I'm kind of just setting up jobs, or trying to land jobs that can set us up for the first quarter of next year, to where I'm not just scrambling trying to figure this thing out in the first quarter of next year. Um, just trying to keep people employed, keep money and cash flow coming in, because cash is king. But let's add something to that. Available cash is king, right? Available cash. Um, and that's what I mean, right? I mean, like I think all of us should aspire to get to a place like Jeff Bezos, right? Jeff Bezos makes 4.4 million per hour, highest paid CEO. It, it 4.4 million an hour. Yeah, yeah. So Jeff Bezos don't work in the present. Okay, from the article you did, I don't know when it was dated, but Jeff Bezos worked 2 to 3 years in the future for Amazon. And that's one of the things he said. That's why I enjoy coming to work, because I'm not. He says the only time I have to be in the present is when there's a fire. Is when it requires me to be pulled out the future, and work on the present, because there's a fire, and I have to be, have a firefighter mentality. That's already as a CEO. That's what you're dealing with, putting out fires, dealing with issues, solutions. But he has built this company to the place where he can go to work on things that is 2 to 3 years in the future. How exciting is that? How amazing is that? Imagine that you can come to work and you don't even have to worry about what the present is doing, because you have the staff and the systems in place to be able to run that, and then you can work on things that you're going to plan on doing 2 years from now. 2 years from now. It's amazing. That's where we all should aspire to be at. Working on things in our construction company that we should be doing in 2 years, a year, 8 months, I mean, fully all the way around, to where we can just be, like all the way in on that, not like me, like, even though I say, hey, I'm in 2020, but I'm only in 2020 for jobs. I'm not in 2020 for accounting. I'm not in 2020 for, systems that I need to put in place. I'm not in 2020 for what we're going to upgrade for on the county side. I'm not in 2020 on, what vehicles. Am I going to bring on any vehicles this year? I'm not in 2020 for that. I'm just in 2020 as far as a few jobs I'm trying to land on the books, and I haven't fully landed everything. I only landed 1 or 2 jobs. I think it was 1.5, right? I'm still waiting on word for another one. But I've been working on it for a while, but it'd be nice to fully be immersed in that and fully have that thing kick off like that. So that's one of the things for 2020 that we need to put on our schedule as contractors, is that, how do we get ahead of this? Now it's very hard to get ahead of this when you're not making the kind of money that you need to be making. If you want to be making the kind of money you need to be making, you need to get somewhere and have someone teach you how to fully understand your numbers, because there's money to be made at this. You should not be stressing and pulling and figuring it out and why you don't have this. And mainly the reason why we're not making money is, one, we're not charging enough. Okay? And then there's a few elements that go with that, because we don't know what to charge, or we are not confident in what we should be charging, right? That goes into a whole nother deal. Another thing why we're not making money is that I feel for some people that I know, I feel that we don't charge according to the workmanship, right? So, like for the apartments I'm doing here, right? I had a crew here that was my last crew, the crew that I fired before I went on my birthday, anniversary / vacation to Hawaii. That crew was used to, not that full crew, but one of my leads guys who's used to working at a craftsman style level. Well, these apartments don't require you to install or be at a craftsman style level. I don't have the time for that, right? So you got to understand how to determine which projects, and based on price, right? Like if someone's not paying for a craftsman style type project, then how do you give them a worthy enough project for what they paid for? And you gotta understand that skill level, right? I don't even have craftsman type skills. Let's be honest with that, right? If I do a craftsman style project, I'm going to bring in someone that has those type of skills, because I don't even have those type of skills, right? I like some of the things we do in like concrete. Harry covers up everything, right? Man, I can't get a 45 cut. Hold on here. I couldn't get a 45 cut to go straight. I caulk that bad boy. If I got a gap, I caulk it. Craftsman style, they tight. They going off of seconds. Which is fine, but for these apartments, that doesn't require that type of skill level. You got to understand that certain projects don't require that, and I think that's where we, especially the people out there that's immaculate and perfectionist and all that in the trade, and then you go out and give a person a mediocre price, and then you give them craftsman style work, and then you wonder why you ain't made no money, because you've been on that job for 3 months and you should have been off there in 3 weeks, right? Because you keep redoing things, because you keep bringing to attention what you think is not right to the customer. So they nitpicking your stuff because you're bringing it to their attention, right? So how do you get things done that is of quality, but at the quality that the customer's paying for, And that's a fine line on skill level and how you get things done. So, giving someone, like for these apartments, craftsman style work when they're not paying craftsman style price, I refuse to. And I battled with that with one of my lead guys on my first crew. He didn't understand how to adjust between those skill levels, how to get things done, and not take all that time and effort and things like that. So that might start a whole nother debate here on YouTube, but we'll see. But yeah, working toward being in 2020 is where we need to be at for every year, right? I mean, not just this year, for every year. And then understand, but see, once you get to a place where you actually understand your numbers, and for me, it's so humbuggish, because we want to do good at this. We want to be successful at this. We really do. But we don't want to put that time and effort into those things that are tedious, that takes us time, that takes brain power, right? We want to go out there and swing that hammer, move that lumber, instead of actually figuring it out how to get to a point where we are most effective in our business, right? Where we're working on our business and not for our business. That's where we have to be at, and that's where we have to learn to get to sooner than later. Because, come on now, it's about to be 2020. Every year we're like, this is our year. This is my year. Well, what is about this year that's going to change, right? So what is about 2020 that's going to change? I'm no different from you. I say every year is my year. Shucks, I even say this year is my year, when this year was a tough year, right? This year was really tough for me. And next year gonna be my year too. So anyway, so I'm gonna let you guys go with that. Work on being into 2021 in September, August of 2020. That's the goal. So set an alarm in your calendar. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it together. I'm also gonna set an alarm in my calendar to remind me, and we're gonna bring this up on the plate and have a discussion about this again. All right, my construction entrepreneurs, I'm gonna let you go with that. Remember, hustle hard, then hustle harder, and catch you on the next one. Bye.